Hi, my name is Veronica and this is Josh. I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with him, but our moment didn't last that long. I met Josh when I was in college. He was such a good guy and really fun to be with. He was always there to support me through my ups and downs, and he always tried his best to make me happy. So being around him made me feel safe and comfortable. He wasn't perfect, but I knew he was the one for me. 2 years after we graduated, he proposed and of course I said yes. So we were planning stuff for our wedding. It wasn't going to be big, but I was really excited about it. A few days before the wedding, I got a phone call when I was at work. It was from a police officer saying that Josh had an accident. I went to the hospital as fast as I could, but when I arrived there, the doctor told me that Josh had passed away. My head went completely blank. Everything went so smoothly, but suddenly I could never see him again. 4 days I couldn't stop crying and I was too sad to talk to anyone at the funeral. 1 week later, I came back to my office and pretended that I was fine, because it hurts more when people asking if I was okay. On the weekend, I went to visit Josh's grave and just spent my day at the cemetery because I didn't know where else to go. Weeks have passed, but I was still crying whenever I was home. My friend kept asking me to hang out with them. I knew they wanted to cheer me up, but I said that I wanted to be alone for a while. Besides work, the only place I went to was the cemetery. One day, I met Ben there. He is Josh's elder brother. Other than me, he was the person who missed Josh the most, because they lost their parents when they were younger, and Josh was the only family he had. We spent hours there quietly and barely talked to each other. When I was about to go home, he asked me if I want to join him for dinner. I thought it would be better than eating alone, so I went to the restaurant with him. At dinner, Ben told me that Josh used to call him almost every night, and he was always excited to hear how Josh's day went. Ben shared how lonely he was since Josh passed away. Then I told him about how I locked myself in my room, crying until I fell asleep almost every night. That was the first time I talked to anybody about my sadness. I felt that Ben was the only person I could talk to about this, because he felt the same pain. That continued to happen for the next few weeks. I always meet Ben at the cemetery and spend time with him afterward. After some time, I felt better and could live my days without feeling sad all the time. One day, Ben told me that spending time at the cemetery every weekend might not be a good idea for us. So he started to take me to other activities like fishing and bowling. He even invited me to socialize with his friends. Ben was so kind to me and I knew that he wanted to help me to move on with my life. He also reminded me of Josh because he looked a lot like him. It's been a year since Josh passed away and I felt like I was almost back to normal. I started to hang out with my friends again and my sadness was almost gone. Ben became my best friend because over the year, he was the person who supported me the most. One day, when I was in the park with him, he told me that he liked me a lot and asked if I had the same feeling. I didn't know what to say and just kept quiet. So he apologized and told me to forget about it. After that day, I didn't answer Ben's call or reply to his texts. I was confused because actually I had feelings for him too. But somehow I didn't want to let go of my memories of Josh. And it felt like I could never replace him with another man. That weekend, I went back to the cemetery and cried in front of Josh's grave again. I heard someone was coming and it was Ben. He knew that I was going to be there. He told me that Josh is gone and he wouldn't want me to stuck on memories of him. Ben said it was okay if I didn't have feelings for him, but I should move on and find new love, because I deserve it. Ben was right. I knew that Josh would want me to be happy. So I hugged Ben and told him how I felt. We began to date since then, and we got married 2 years later. Now we've been married for 10 years, and we had 2 lovely children. But even after all that, I could never ever forget about Josh. And I think he would be glad to know that Ben and I are happy together. While I love Ben so much, I can say that Josh was still the love of my life. What do you think of my story? Comment below and hit the like button if you enjoy the story. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel.